Have you ever spent hours and hours working on a paper, but it never seems to be quite right? Yes. Rephrasing every sentence, sparsely using commas, and being innovative takes time, which no one has when balancing other coursework. Are you someone who begs every single person they see to read their paper? Luckily, deadlines move the process of literacy on a straight and narrow path, otherwise we'd be peddling papers forever. Eventually, each student must turn in what they've considered to be their best work, but is it ever really perfect? Through the revision and editing process, a writer assumes they have caught all their mistakes. Unfortunately, most of us have our papers returned to us with bleeding red ink, or, for you new agers, with Microsoft Word's revision sidebar. Just because a book is published or has a renowned author that has perfected a new series does not mean the piece is not full of mistakes. Since there are many different opinions that form the ideas of literacy, revision, and editing, the most effective writing has emotion and meaning. During my senior year of high school, as I imagine at other high schools, seniors were passing around their college essays to be read and perfected by peers, teachers, and anyone else who would listen. Yet, there was a problem with asking your peers. Although you may not have been directly competing with them for a spot in your dream school, you were still distracted by all things involving yourself. How can you honestly edit your friend's essay when you're doing the same for your own paper and juggling math homework? People do not care. The toughest part when revising and editing an important paper is finding a pair of fresh eyes that care. My college essay was full of details, personal and honest. The prompt, name a person who has influenced your life. How general. I could have written about my ex-nanny from El Salvador or the cute mailman who was too old for me. Instead, I wrote about something extremely personal that could only be read by the people I chose. I wrote about the close relationship I have with both of my siblings and how it developed over time. After years of being annoyed with each other, fighting over toys, and competing for mom's attention, we became best friends. No one knew the secret to our recipe of friendship. Friends would ask, "Want to hang out tonight?" And I would quickly respond with "I'm sorry, I'm hanging out with my sister tonight." There are no two people I rely on more than my little brother and my big sissy. I trusted my favorite English teacher, Chrissy Rohde, to critique it. She claimed it was brilliant, and I felt that it was not yet right. Later, I realized I hadn't written about my mother, my rock, the most beautiful person I know. She constantly strives for perfection, but has no idea that in my eyes she is perfection, always caring for others and still puts herself together. After adding my piece about her, I felt the perfection that everyone thinks you're supposed to feel when finishing an essay. I never feel that way when turning in papers, but only when I write in a card for a friend or a family member, or send an email to someone I've lost contact with. It may not be a stuffy formal paper with references and quotes from the New York Times, but it is writing with meaning. Literacy is imperfect without meaning.